just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too.
And just had it's so cold. The studio didn't have any heat. We had to move the show in
The
here.
lock was frozen shut. Couldn't get the lights on.
I haven't even seen Max. I hope he's. I hope I don't see.
Okay.
Oh.
His office.
What is going on now?
He's got.
Found this guy outside. He was frozen solid.
He was almost dead.
Okay. What do you want us to do about it?
He said something about a lawsuit and that he wants to host the show.
Oh, really?
I don't know what to do about it. What does that mean for us?
One of you two has got to go.
I don't know about that either.
I don't. Well, I already went.
If somebody's going to get one of us out of here, they're going to have to carry us.
Thanks. You're not even frozen. I knew that was fake.
You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley.
Well, hello and welcome to the first new GSI of the new year. I'm Ryan Menley along with co-host Max Griffin. Temporary. Hope to God it's temporary. That would be nice because I'm really tired of you already. We're only a couple days into the year. Thank you. You want to talk basketball? Go ahead. What do you want to talk about? Okay. That's enough. We'll talk basketball. The Griffin men in the I'll do all the talking. Griffin men in the middle of a 4-game, 7-day stretch in the MIAA. 2 down, 2 to go. Before we look ahead, let's look back to the 2 games this past weekend. Saturday, Max Griffin flinging free cookies in the field house. 6-5 Missouri Western men facing a tall task, taking on Bob Chipman's 10-1 Washburn Ichabod squad. The Griffins were down 7 at half, but come out of the locker room on fire. Darius Fulton providing the Flames back-to-back three-pointers. Gives the Griffs a 35-34 lead, but then Washburn gets red hot. Leon Flowers came in averaging 6 points a game, but turns into Michael Jordan for a stretch. Unconscious and unstoppable, Ichabod's back up 10 with 12 minutes to play. Western continuing to fight back, though. Ryan Devers picks the Ichabod pocket. Devers had a career-high 25 points on the night, but also unselfish. Gives it up to Darian Jones, who jams it home. Western gets back to within 4, but the Griffins struggle with free throws down the stretch, and Flowers continues to hit everything. He scored 24 of his game-high 26 points in the second half as Washburn pulls away for a 79-69 victory. The Griffins scratched and clawed all game, but just couldn't get over the hump.
It just came down mostly, the free throws and the offensive rebounds. But I feel like our defense is getting better. We were sharing the ball, so we're going to go to practice and work on what we have to work on.
I felt like we competed. I felt like we gave a good effort. But we can't sit there and say to ourselves, well, we gave it all we got, or we gave it our best shot, because we didn't.
Monday night, Brett Weiberg and the Missouri Western men trying to snap a 3-game slide, taking on Nebraska Kearney and taking it to the Lopers. Literally, Griffin's ultra-aggressive all the time. On the break, Zach Price doesn't stop. The aggressiveness on both sides of the floor. Trez Colbert knocks it loose, turns it to 2 more breakaway points. Western scored 26 points off turnovers. They continue to outrun a much bigger Kearney crew all night. Freshman Wes Minter, the 40-yard dash, wins it with a floater. Western up 44-34 at the break. Second halftime to inflict total pain. You know what? This kid's got some moves. You know what? Ryan Devers also has some moves. The Griffin point guard takes complete control of this game, taking it in amongst the trees time and time again. Devers, a career-high 35 points on 10 of 17 shooting. Western led by as many as 14 in the second half, but Kearney cuts it to 4 late. The Griffins shorthanded, going without big man Janan Markalovic out with knee injuries. So enter true freshman Charlie Marquardt. Big boy's got some touch. 8 points, 6 rebounds in 24 minutes. That kills Kearney's chances at a comeback. Griffins win 89-82 the final. They shoot a sizzling 53% from the floor on the night, but Ryan Devers' career night is the story of the night.
I just felt like he competed, man. He competed hard. he did, take his fair share of shots, but it wasn't like he just shot it every time. I mean, he was able to get in the paint, made a bunch of chippers, hit him some threes, hit him a deep three. He just played a good game, and so, but he wasn't the only one.
Yeah, I got confidence every night in myself to get to the lane, make easy buckets, or to shoot outside from the three. I also got faith in my teammates too, so I was trying to make sure that they got the ball just as much as I got opportunity to shoot too. Just a solid win. I wanted to win the game. I hate losing more than I like winning.
Now the Griffins hit the road for an MIAA trip to Kansas. Wednesday at Emporia State, Saturday at Pittsburgh State. With more, Brett Easley rejoins us with head men's coach Brett Weiberg.
Coach Weiberg, new year, and here we go. MIAA grind, your first time through it. You're ready to go for it, aren't you?
Absolutely. We're ready to go through it. We've got a good stretch coming up here this week of games played, and we really don't slow down too much from this week moving forward.
Well, your rotation has changed a little bit. Certainly no Cedric Klinkskills. You got an injury with Janan Merkalovich, so you're having to get more from some other guys, and you know what? They are stepping up a little bit. Wes Mitter is playing. Charlie Marquardt's giving you some good minutes, and you're really developing a new rotation, aren't you?
Yeah, we're having to. It's just kind of the situation that we're in, and I think the kids are doing a very good job adjusting that situation and picking it up in practice a little bit. We have had a good 3.5, 4 days of practice, but you're right, our rotation's changed based on necessity.
Well, here you go. This is a stretch of games. The good news is class hasn't started yet, but you played Monday night, and now 3 in a row on the road, and they're tough. At Emporia State, at Pitt State, at Central Missouri. We talked, you had all that time off, all time to work. Now, how do you approach 3 games in roughly a week stretch here?
Well, I've learned already that it's hard to win on the road in the MIAA. It's hard to win at home, too. So really what we got to do is just continue to build confidence in ourselves, make sure that we're just getting a little bit better in the detail areas. If we continue to do that, we'll have a chance, but it's going to be a challenge, and I look forward to the challenge, hopefully, and I think the kids do too.
Well, when you go on the road, you got to have good guard play, and you've been getting it, haven't you?
Yeah, Ryan is good, and Trez is good, and really all those guys. Darius Fulton can do it. Calvin was good off the bench. Multiple guys can play that spot, and if we continue to get good, solid guard play, there's no reason we can't have a chance to win.
You happy with your defense?
We're getting better. Rebounding's a challenge for us. We're trying to work on it every single day, trying to get it in their minds of what we got to do, and we are a little bit better at it than we were, no question. We're just a different personnel team, and so now rebounding's an absolute premium with all 5 guys on the floor. So, but in other areas, we're certainly better defensively. Hopefully, we'll continue to get better.
You know what else you're ready for?
What's that?
You forgot the name of your segment. Weiberg's Wit. It's time for Weiberg's Wit. This is the New Year.
I want to be better.
New Year. Well, you've been good to me. Weiberg's Wit. How cold is cold for you? Oklahoma guy. You come up here to Northwest Missouri. How cold is cold?
About 40 degrees.
40 degrees.
That's cold.
We're about 80 degrees colder than that right now.
Absolutely.
And finally,
it's freezing outside.
And finally, Brett Weiberg's New Year's resolution is
to win games.
Win games. Short and sweet. Weiberg's Wit. Would you expect anything less? Well, let's win some more games. Got a chance to do it on the road.
We're going to try, and I think the kids will give an effort.
Okay, Coach Weiberg will follow him on the road this week. GSI returns right after this.
I am your aquatic therapist. My job is to control the current. Bulging disc, no pressure. If you really want to get better faster, you have to work in water. I'm Ian Hessemeyer, and this is Spine and Sport.
GoGriffins.com, powered by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy.
Train like the pros, my friends.
This GSI Basketball Spotlight brought to you by the Missouri National Guard. Welcome back, Ryan Menley, Max Griffin. It's just not even that funny anymore. It has been a tough struggle, to say the least, for the Griffin women. That's not been too funny either. But the losing streak is finally over. How about that? The 6-game streak is over. Now, hopefully, the start of a winning streak. Let's take a look back to the 2 games this past weekend. Missouri Western women ringing in the new year by trying to snap a 5-game losing skid, taking on Washburn. The Griffins have struggled to find the hole for more than a month, and no different on Saturday. They went the first 5 minutes of the game without scoring a single point. They scored just 3 points in the first 9 minutes. Washburn, meanwhile, off and running. Taylor Ignato off the board. Goes coast to coast and won. Washburn with an early 15-3 lead. Griff's trying to get back in it, and they do. Tiffany Abrams nails a 3 from the corner. She had a team-high 11 points. They'd fight back to within 1 and go to the break down 30-24. Second half, still hanging around. Tierra Hall, 3-point play the hard way. Griff's within 5. They played well defensively, but they finished the game like they started the game. Ice cold. Just 3 field goals in the final 9 minutes. They shoot 29% for the game, and they fall 67-49 in the final. Western's record now 4-6 overall, 0-4 in MIAA play. They have now lost 6 in a row. The offensive struggles continue to be the common theme.
Very frustrated, very. It's almost like we play scared in games. In practice, we have no fear.
I'm not worried the rest of the year what we can do defensively. I don't care who we're playing. We do a good enough job scouting and knowing what the other team does. We take their leading scorer and hold it to 1 for 5 from the field. That's not our concern. Do we have good enough players to make baskets on the other end?
Monday, Max Griffin crawling through the tundra. The Griffin women trying to snap their own collective cold snap. 6 straight losses. What it end against Nebraska Kearney? Well, a good start for the home team. On the run, Lanisha Lawrence to Kristen Crawford. Western up 9-0 after the first 8 minutes. They've been ice cold from the field during this losing streak, but putting in the extra effort here. Alex Saxon follows her own miss. Griffs by 10. Kearney couldn't shake its own ice. Sub-0 shooting for the Lopers. They went 9 minutes before scoring their first bucket, held to just 3 field goals in the first half. Still, the Griffs go to the break with just a 25-17 lead. Second half, they keep pushing. Jaquita Deaver to Tiffany Abrams, who finishes. Griffs by 9, and finally, we have something to smile about. The losing streak is over. Griffins get a win, 55-46 the final. Western shot just 36% from the field, but they held Kearney to 20% shooting for the game. The Lopers just 9 of 43 from the field. The defense notches the W, and a W to snap the skid is about 6 times as nice.
I believe exactly what we needed right now because we're kind of feeling, we missed the feeling of getting a win. So we just kind of needed to get that feeling back and remember what it feels like.
It feels good. I've never been this happy to get a win. We really needed this.
Yeah, I just feel like we really stuck together tonight. We had each other's back, so that's what we needed to do, and we got it done.
When we hold 9 baskets the whole game, 3 in the first half, I just thought defensively we were really good.
Life only gets tougher now. The Griffins head to Emporia State Wednesday. Emporia is 13-0 and ranked number 3 in the nation. They didn't go to Pittsburgh State Saturday. The Gorillas are 9-3. With more, Brett Easley returns with head coach Rob Edmonson.
Well, thanks, Ryan. Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to Coach Edmonson. Rob, New Year, boy, that grind of the MIAA starts right now, doesn't it?
It is, and we're in the thick of it, and it's the dog days of basketball, and it's especially in our conference and with the quality of teams and kind of where we're at with our team emotionally and stuff. It's a grind right now, and tough teams persevere, and hopefully our team will continue to grow and mature and become tougher, and hopefully we can handle this task that's ahead of us.
Well, Rob, we've seen 11 of these now, and I think you've said it. Sometimes you are what you are. And on the offensive side, I think grind describes it. It's going to be a grind every night, isn't it?
It is. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough weapons on that end of the floor. But, I'm really proud of what we're doing defensively. We hold a conference team to 3 field goals and a half and 9 field goals in a game. And if we can learn to guard a little better without fouling. But it's that defense that's going to keep us in games. And what we got to do is shorten the game. We got to get the game down to a couple possession game with 3 or 4 minutes left. And then maybe one of our kids will hit one of those big threes or make a big basket, as opposed to feeling like we have to put up 70 or 80 points to win a game. It's the old school, it's old-fashioned, it's the hard way to do it, but that's what we're going to have to do.
Talked a lot November, December about it seemed like we'd play 2 or 3 games and we'd have 10 days off. We'd play a game, we'd have 2 weeks off. Well, now we're at that stage in the year where on the road 3 in a row, and they're tough. At Emporia, at Pitt, at Central Missouri, upper crust of the league. Talk about what that's going to be like.
Well, we know it's going to be a huge challenge, not only physically physically but emotionally. But you know, if we can come through that stretch and maybe pull a couple upsets and compete, and our kids' frame of mind grows and gets a little more confident, then we got a stretch of 11 games for which I think we got a chance to win every single game. So there's a lot to play for left. Maybe tonight's win, maybe this will kind of push us over the hump and get us excited again. And you know, just like a loss can kind of roll into something, wins can roll into a bunch of them too. So maybe we can get that going.
You know what it's time for now?
Must ask me a question.
Well, I must ask you a question. In fact, I'm going to ask you three of them. It's the first easily tantalizing trio of the new year. This is the New Year's Frozen edition. Don't you think that's fitting?
It is. It is.
So, Rob, three questions for you here. How cold is cold for you?
St. Joseph, Missouri weather right now. That's cold for me. I mean, we've been in Oklahoma the last 10 years. This is just absolutely tough. It's tough. But our shooting percentage tonight was higher than the temperature outside, and that was encouraging.
So 13 below is cold. Rob's a pretty tough guy. We know that.
Yeah.
Second question I have for you, and I'm really not going anywhere with this. Do you like frozen drinks? I mean, that can be.
No,
it can be smoothies.
They tend to be sweet.
Too much sugar.
Too much sugar.
And finally, to follow that up, what is your New Year's resolution?
To do a better job for my players.
Fair enough. Well, Rob, we're going to see you out a lot on the road. Let's get some road wins.
Let's do it. Thanks a bunch.
That's Rob Edmonson. I'm Brett Weiberg. More GSI after this.
Leg bone, your leg bone connected to you. Knee bone, your knee bone connected to you. Thigh bone down here, the butt of the lawn.
It's all connected.
Connected to you. Hip bone, your hip bone connected to you. Backbone, your backbone connected to you. Shoulder bone down here, the butt of the Lord.
And welcome back. The Chiefs broke our hearts this past Saturday. I know you're upset. I've read your tweets. But you know what? There are plenty of NFL Griffins to be proud of in 2013. David Bass, Greg Zuerlein, Michael Hill all settled in nicely. All three Griffins crossed paths this season in 3 different games too, which was kind of unique. KQ2's Matt Trenton was in St. Louis a few weeks ago and caught up with the greatest running back and the greatest kicker in Missouri Western history.
Not many have what it takes to cut it in the National Football League.
The NFL is not an easy business. You know, it really is a business.
For the first time, 3 Griffins are in the league and making the most of their opportunities.
It's just cool seeing that guys I played with are now here in the NFL doing it.
On Sunday, Greg Zuerlein's Rams hosted Michael Hill's Buccaneers for Hill's first game back in the Show Me State since graduation.
It was really good to come back to especially Missouri, where my family and friends, coaches can come back and support me some more.
Despite still being a rookie in the NFL, Tampa Bay is Hill's 3rd stop. The Chargers signed him as an undrafted free agent in late April, and the Packers scooped him up after he was cut. Now on the Bucs' 53-man roster, he's fighting for playing time.
It's actually been pretty stressful, crazy, just bumping around. It's my 3rd team. It's hard to prove yourself. Right now I'm getting a great opportunity on special teams and a chance to go out there and make plays.
Michael Hill, he's doing a great job adapting to the NFL, period. He's like one of them natural guys that adapt to the environment and the plays or whatever it is that's asked of him. And he's going to be a great running back.
Kicker Greg Zuerlein's thriving in his 2nd year in St. Louis. His 92.5 field goal percentage this season is 3rd best in Rams history. He says he's felt a lot more comfortable during his sophomore campaign.
Knowing what to expect, getting to know the teammates and the coaches. Before I was always thinking about stuff that I shouldn't be thinking about during games, and I definitely was not in the right mental state a lot of the time.
Will it make it? It does!
He had a career-high 60-yarder as a rookie and easily cleared a 54-yard field goal on Sunday, but that may just be scratching the surface.
Like a 54-yarder for Greg, that's the equivalent of me swinging, you know, my 7-iron in golf. You know, it's just a nice, easy swing. Greg can knock it through. I think before he's done, I think he might hit 68, maybe 69. He'll do it. He'll do it.
I think I could do that now, but that's just me. You know, it just depends how well I'm hitting the ball that day, and if I hit it flush, it'll go.
Both Griffs still have a lot to prove as their careers are just beginning, but they're not looking too far down the road.
1 game left, we'll see what happens, and then it's training in the off season, and who knows what's next.
Well, as for the current Missouri Western football team, the 2013 version, the latest, the last, the final Division II football poll is out, and the Griffins finished 2013 with an 8-3 record and ranked 21st in the D2 Nation. Something to build on for this year. We'll be right back.
Now David Bass is going to sling him to the ground, his second sack in this football game.
Spinal sport treatment with Fred, his methods are extremely different from anybody I've ever been with because he takes your injury and breaks it down to a T. I came here right after I had my bone spur surgery for my left foot. He broke my body down, so he kind of went in and took it step by step from my hips down to my knees, to my calves, to my ankles, and fixed everything. I recommend Spinal Sport because of Fred. He has a passion for his athletes and getting people back to where they need to be.
All right, we're here with the girls basketball team. We're talking about ankle injury prevention. You know, basketball players get a lot of ankle sprains. We want to prevent that. So let's talk about how do we warm up that ankle? How do we move that ankle three-dimensionally? We're going to show you the traditional stretch for the ankle. So we lean against this, we step up. How many times have you seen basketball players do the traditional stretch your calf stretch? And they just kind of lean in. How many times have you seen basketball players do another traditional calf stretch? These are all fine techniques to move the calf, but the problem is they're only one-dimensional. That foot, that ankle needs to react three-dimensionally. So here's the new and improved way. Now, in the clinic, we use these fun devices. This is called a biomechanical ankle platform system, otherwise known as the BAPS board. Alex is going to stand on there, and you see how she moves that? How that foot is not just moving one way. Now, if she does a couple squats where she bends down, now she's getting that calf. Come back up. Good job. So go ahead and come off of that, Alex. So this is a great thing to have, and honestly, every basketball player should have that on their Christmas list, but these things are $300. We can't afford that all the time. So this is how you do this at home without spending the $300. You get in that traditional stretch position. So we're going to be working the left ankle here. They're going to take their right knee and they're going to drive their right knee front to back. And as they do that, they'll do 5 or 6 of those. They're going to keep that heel down. That ankle is getting a front to back dynamic mobility exercise. Now they're going to take their right leg and they're going to swing side to side. So the leg is straight. They swing that, there they go. And as that right leg is moving, we're more interested in what's happening here at the foot because these joints in that foot are moving side to side, warming up that ankle. The last dimension is rotation. So now the girls are going to spin their hips in a rotational fashion. And again, this joint down here below the ankle, it's called the subtalar joint, is getting a great mobilization, good dynamic warm up. That's preparing the athlete to prevent ankle sprains. That's preparing the athlete to move better, perform better. That's our goal. Train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
No win. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is certainly long enough, and it is certainly perfect. Man. Another field goal by Greg Zerline. He is now 5 for 5.
The most helpful physical therapist in the world on field goal kicking.
When the game's on the line, there's no one better than Zerline.
Zerline's kick is long enough, and it is good enough.
Train like the pros, my friends.
Welcome back, man. If you want to do this show, you got to be a professional. Let's go.
Sam, aren't we? About time. Get him out of the way.
Good chair shot.
Lawsuits, schmaw shoots.
Well,
yeah.
You know what?
Not a new him.
I'm all right that happened. Okay, Brett Easley's back.
I'm back.
You may be fired after this week, but you know what? That was worth it. I mean, you got to get your aggression out sometime, right?
It was. I'm sure he'll have a neck brace or a back brace on or something. But
you know what? Just for that, you get role play. Just by yourself. Just because I know you're angry already, Brett. You're the Kansas City Chiefs. You blew a 28 third quarter lead.
48.
Continuing Kansas City's playoff futility.
Yeah.
Longest city in America without a playoff win. What the heck happened?
It's a cursed franchise is what it is. I mean, wasn't it a 32-minute game? Oh, wait, we forgot to play the last 28 minutes. I mean, it was the Hindenburg, Titanic, Chernobyl. Throw any other natural disaster in there you want. That's what it is. We had our heart ripped out, gut-wrenching. If you can't win that, you're never going to win that.
Welcome back.
That's good to be
Probably
back.
won't see you ever again.
Probably not. This is probably my last appearance on the show, but at least I went out swinging.
That's GSI for this week, as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, go Griffs.